So we're going to do our altcoin spotlight today on MakerDAO.
I'm not a financial advisor.
Now, you may say, why are we covering MakerDAO when we're talking about RWAs? You may not know. You may be an old crypto head, and you're just used to MakerDAO being used for kind of, swapping some transactions, maybe getting some weed, maybe doing some DAI, collateralization. Maybe that's what you know, okay? But they have really come into the 21st century, if you will, when it comes to the world of RWAs. And we're going to talk about their transition. Now, the most core thing you need to understand about Maker MKR is it really is kind of a twofold coin project. It's not like XRP and real USD, really. It doesn't have that kind of relationship, but it is a pegged asset to Ethereum. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys I understand exactly how they back that up. I don't think it's actually that complicated, but it's not a one-to-one. So you don't go to the price of Makers, you can see is 11.21 at the time of this graphic this morning. It is a decentralized collateralization in a sense. It is a stable coin based on a decentralized product. Now, Maker is not the stable coin. The stable coin, because a stable coin's got to be stable. A stable coin is called DAI. So we also have a graphic here for DAI to show you guys this. So DAI, you can see the price is $1. Well, the price is always going to be $1. And you see it's got a max supply. It doesn't matter. It's however much there's supposed to be, that's how many there's going to be. So DAI is soft pegged to the US dollar and collateralized by crypto in smart contract vaults. It's the largest algorithmic or decentralized stablecoin on the market. Algorithmic is the word I was looking for. DAI's supply is unlimited and adjusts based on collateral and vaults, with 940 million in circulation as of November of 2020. So that was a while back. Now, if we go back and we look at Maker, now Maker is kind of the project behind DAI. Okay, so let me read kind of the stuff we have on that. It issued the world's largest decentralized stablecoin. It's multi-chain expansion, or it has multi-chain expansion, including Arbitrum and Optimism and CKY Sync. These are all, Ethereum-based layer 2s. Maker tokens are burned, causing deflation. So to understand burning mechanisms with algorithmic tokens, because the truth is algorithmic stablecoins, that is the class of these stablecoins that I was kind of referring to earlier. It's an interesting way that they're backed. Basic understanding of it is there's a supply of these coins, and by burning or generating or issuing new tokens, by burning old tokens or issuing new tokens, they can play this balancing act and keep the supply at such that it makes the price of the stablecoin $1. And I know that's kind of complicated, more than a lot of you guys care to know, but that's kind of how it works. And so what in the world does this have to do with RWAs? Well, I'm glad that you asked. What it does, MakerDAO is a decentralized autonomous organization behind DAI, a decentralized stablecoin that maintains a soft peg to the US dollar. Now, what is the key offering? The key offering is enabling users to generate DAI. And there's all kinds of different things that spin out of this from in the world of decentralized finance. And this is what you guys have to understand. If you're newer, if you came into crypto after 2020 or so, then, I don't know how much you know about Maker, but yet you probably know all about DeFi. That was the summer of DeFi in 2020. And there's so much decentralized finance stuff going on everywhere. And you had all these new projects that popped up. And you had Compound and Yearn Finance. You had Curve. You had Sushi. I cannot remember what the other biggest one was. It was not Aave, but Maker was number one. Maker was the biggest one. And then Compound popped up out of nowhere and like 10x. Compound like 10x like the first couple of days it was around. And that's really, if I'm being honest, that's what I believe kind of kicked off the DeFi summer. And it was just really, really interesting to watch. But yet all of those other projects have kind of came and gone. Do people even know what Compound is anymore? I don't know. Are people using it? Maker has really come to the new age of RWAs, and they're taking advantage of things like filling their treasury to back all their assets with things like US treasuries, like bonds and notes and things that we talked about yesterday. And what you'll find is that a lot of these DeFi or a lot of these projects in RWAs, they're kind of grouping and kind of doing a lot of similar things. But overall, like the world of these treasuries and the US government now being involved in crypto, man, is everywhere. It's everything. It's all that is happening in the world of institutional investing. Is people positioning around that right now. And it's just very fascinating to see that Maker was far enough ahead. They've got a lot of their supply kind of backed by RWAs. So MakerDAO pioneered the decentralized stablecoin model. They did the first one, algorithmic. They're still the only one, I think, that does it okay, that does it well, in my opinion. And there's a lot of news that's been coming out about it recently. And they have a $1 billion RWA tokenization program where they invited teams to come tokenize assets from all kinds of different, organizations to put inside of the ecosystem. I thought this was interesting. They removed all of their vaults that contained WBTC, which is wrapped Bitcoin. It's the Ethereum synthetic version of or whatever chain.
That's the stuff that Trump bought like $47 million worth of, right?
Yeah.
The wrapped Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Yes.
They removed it from all their vaults for security reasons. Wow. That's interesting. That's interesting. And of course, they're doing a new governance overhaul. And if you go to their website and you see they're doing like a lot of stuff about governance. So, why does it matter here? What matters is Maker's showing you they continue to innovate. They continue to stay ahead of the curve. No pun intended. And you might have seen Compound was ranked above it. This is a stable coin in a project. This is not kind of the same kind of investment arm that a lot of, it doesn't have all the same bells and whistles a lot of these other DeFi protocols have. But it's still staying relevant. And on one hand, I want to say, man, I don't want to say on one hand. What I want to say is, what a beautiful job of hedging here by MakerDAO. What a beautiful job of hedging. They're now hedged by the treasuries that they own backing them, in a sense. They're hedged because the things they're getting into are more stable than their own stablecoin and its assets that are backing it. Okay. And you're watching a move from a lot of different entities into these government kind of stablecoins, because that's in a sense what these are. And so I just think it's very, very fascinating that they are continuing to innovate and be at the forefront of DeFi and RWAs, all things notwithstanding. And it showed me, this company is going to definitely still find a way to be around. Is it something I'm going to invest in? No, probably not. I'm probably not going to invest in Maker. If I'm picking RWAs, is not as sexy as some other ones, for sure. But is it a consistent company? Can you feel good about having your money backed by, their stablecoin backed? Yeah, I think you can. I think. Okay, don't ever hold me to that stuff. But what Maker is doing right now is what they're calling their in-game plan. And so this is what you need to think about. They're telling you what the future of this coin is. And it's very interesting. They're transitioning into in-game. It's a roadmap to decentralize governance further. That's why they're doing the governance stuff on the website. Optimize collateral and introduce AI-powered automation. And to me, what it looks like is that people that are close to the development of this, or, in the area of being able to make decisions, foundations, I don't know, these people are starting to say, all right, let's just let this thing run. All right, we're out. Because why? Why keep doing it? You have to have whys for your continuing to put so much attention into something, and something that's like a stable coin and collateralization. It's supposed to be DeFi. Like, man, if you could get it to where that thing just runs itself and you don't pay any attention to it, and you don't have to put any effort into development with it, it is what it is. And I think that there's a lot of power in that. I don't think there's no reason for it to become anything more than that. That these projects should have end games because they're decentralized. There's not the same financial incentive for people to continue to work on these years and years and years down the road, in a sense. So they are now holding U.S. treasuries, bridging DeFi and traditional finance. And man, that is just what we're seeing. We are seeing the integration of institutions, DeFi, RWAs in ways that we just never really thought that we were going to see. And it really is incredible to watch. So, all right. So this is a 4-hour chart looking at Maker. Is this a coin you want to invest in? And that really, when we do altcoin spotlight and we look at these coins, I guess really that's my takeaway at the end of these really should be, or your takeaway should be, you should have an opinion on whether or not you think this coin is interesting enough for you to consider it for investment, you know? And that doesn't mean a serious consideration. That just means you put it on your list and maybe look at it at some point. And so you asked me, is this one that I would put on my list to research for investment? And I would tell you right off the rip, no, I don't think so. We're going to look at the chart. No, I don't think so. However, does that mean that this is a coin you don't want to pay attention to? No, I just told you do want to pay attention. And what we're going to really be doing a lot of, we may do some of this stuff in the Bitboy BootCamp as well, is some advanced RWAs, like actually looking at what does it actually look like to tokenize something? Like maybe I can tokenize my smile. How much would that be worth to you guys? Please put it in the comments. Thank you. But in all seriousness, like I want to actually like start doing. I'm gonna buy some actual. I'm gonna buy some T-bills. I'm gonna go buy some Treasury bills, and I guess it's USTreasury.gov or whatever it is, and gonna actually do it. We're gonna actually start using some of these platforms because one thing I've really come to understand about learning about institutional products that I haven't touched or don't know about is that it's visualizing the process of what's actually happening in the trade. Like if you can see the order book and see what's being traded, it would kind of make sense to me anyways. So I think that is something that we can do. So, only go back. This is a 4-hour. Let's pull up the daily actually. And I mean, kind of compare it to Ethereum. I mean, in the last run, it went all the way up to $6,200. MKR did. And it went up to 4,000. And Ethereum got a little bit got closer to its all-time high, I guess, than Maker did, which is interesting. But you can see it's clearly in a downtrend right now. And, we've got to be asking ourselves the question, like we were asking ourselves yesterday with the coin we looked at yesterday. Do we think this bull run is over? Like, if this bull run is over, then we would look back and we would say, oh, man, it was so obvious. How do we not see it? How did everybody not see it was over? That's what they'll say. But obviously, I don't think it's probably going to look like this. And I think it's probably going to look like another breakout above. And when it gets above, it's going to rip. And it'd be very interesting if you're looking to do some kind of analysis at home on some things. Looking at this here, looking at this spike where it did go above that channel or above that trend, excuse me, I would go and try to find some other coins and map out the same time frame and look and see how many of them got close to a breakout. Like, was this just a completely failed breakout for this coin, or how many coins had one that matched something very similar? And you can kind of build and look and see how all of the altcoins could be shooting up at one time if you kind of see that prescribes over a larger amount of people and traders.